Welcome everyone. I'm so happy to have you joining us today for our residence and dining services session at Trent University. Thank you so much for coming out to our virtual open house to learn all about the different amazing services and academic programs we offer on campus here at Trent. It's an amazing experience and we're excited to share this info with you today. I'll start off by introducing myself. My name is Hayden. I am the recruitment and admissions coordinator for Trent Housing Services. I'm also a fourth-year student in history and political studies. And with us today, we have Mark Murdoch, who's the executive director of food, conferences, and campus payment services. So thanks for joining us, Mark. We also have two housing services student staff with us in the chat to answer your questions today. We have Keely and Aaliyah, and we also have Sierra answering some questions in the general chat outside of our sessions as well. So thanks to them for joining us today. Okay, so time to get started. Let's learn all about these amazing features and we'll get on going. So here at Trent University, we have two main campuses. We have our Peterborough campus, which has 12 different residence buildings. We also have our brand new Durham GTA residence building, which was opened in Oshawa in September of 2020. So it's brand new. It's really close to the academic space down there. It's right in the heart of Oshawa, and it's about 40 minutes from downtown Toronto, and it's super close to GO Transit. So between Peterborough and Oshawa, we have some great, amazing spaces for you. There's something for everyone. So here at Trent, we operate on the collegiate system, which is based from the Oxford University model. You might have heard someone refer to it before as the Hogwarts style. So it's very similar to Harry Potter houses. And we have 5 colleges here on our main Peterborough Trent campus. We have our Autonomy College, Lady Eaton College, Peter Zosky College, Champlain College, and Catherine Parr Trail College. These are smaller communities within the big Trent community that students have a close-knit community with, and they each have their own vibes and characteristics that students can tend to identify with, and they have their own sets of values. And each of these colleges have their own affiliated residence buildings as well. So when you live in their residence building, you have that college affiliation and are a part of that college family, which I love. It's one of my favorite parts of the Trent experience is having that college family. So now a bit more about the room information. We have 2 different room styles here at Trent. We have the traditional style rooms here. I'm just gonna see if our video will start playing. It's probably just loading there right now. We have our traditional style rooms. These come in single and double occupancy, so that way you can have a roommate if you would like. If you're living in a traditional style room, you'll have a traditional dining plan. Because you won't have access to a full kitchen, you'll be eating mostly at our food service locations, which Mark is going to talk about later. So you have a specific dining plan to suit those needs. We also have premium option rooms. Premiums can be found in Zosky College. We also have them in our Durham GTA residence, and we label these premium because in Zosky you get things like double beds, a semi-private bathroom, and air conditioning. And in Durham you get private air conditioning, kitchens in your common rooms, rather than having no kitchen at all. And it's a brand new building, so you get lots of amazing features that come with that. We also have lots of different washroom styles throughout our traditional residences. That's a common question that we do get a lot is, what are the washrooms like? And so most often we have gender neutral single occupancy washrooms, which means there's only one person in there at a time using them. We also offer suite style rooms at our Peterborough campus. So what suite style rooms are is what we refer to as apartment style as well. And within apartments, you have double or single rooms. Now, these apartments are usually shared between 3 to 6 students, and there's usually 1 to 2 bathrooms per apartment, which is great. And it gives you the option to cook for yourself if you'd like. If you wanted a bigger space, something that's slightly outside of our main campus, but still really close and really convenient, suites are a great way for you to have that environment and develop a really close relationship for people within your own apartment. We also offer suite style dining plans for suite style rooms. This is because you have a full in-service kitchen in your apartment, which means you can cook for yourself. So you have about half of the regular dining plan that traditional room styles have. In our suites, we offer in-suite laundry. The apartments are fully furnished with everything that you would need. All you would need to bring is some decor, some cooking utensils, and any cleaning supplies that you might need. We also have dishwashers, which are some things that university apartments and housing sometimes don't tend to have. So we're happy to offer those. And if you're interested and you really like having air conditioning, Champlain Annex is our only suite style accommodation that offers air conditioning. So definitely check that one out. So all of our residents have amazing amenities that you can find across the campus. That is free laundry. You don't have to pay a penny for laundry. You just have to bring your detergent. You also get free Wi-Fi across all of the buildings. And in your own individual rooms, you have your own private router to maximize your connection, which is great. We also have lots of great common areas around campus and within our residence buildings. So there's lots of places to study, to hang out with friends that you make in residence, and just to relax if you want to and hang out. It's probably one of my favorite things about residence as well is all of the amazing spaces that you can make connections with people in. We also have lots of gorgeous scenery across our whole campus, sweeping views, and lots of nature. We have our drumlin on our main campus, which is a big hiking trail and forest behind Lady Eaton. I definitely recommend that. And Durham is situated amongst a bunch of different walking trails around the Oshawa area. So I definitely recommend checking that out. Also in our residences, you're really close to lots of different food services, which Mark is going to talk about there. It's really close access and lots of variety, so that way you never have to worry about being bored with your food selection. There will always be something to interest you. We also have and are happy to have lots of in-house support staff who represent housing services. We have our residence life dons who live within the residence with students. They are upper year students, so they're act like mentors. They're there to provide support and safety for the community, and they're a good person to go to if you ever need anything at all. I know I was really pleased to have a residence life don because they know the campus environment and can guide you in the right place as you start your university journey. So they're definitely a great resource for you to utilize. And on the note of dons, we have things in residence called residence learning communities. These are designated communities within the residence environment, which provide a unique opportunity for students to immerse themselves in a living learning experience. So what this does is it situates you in a community with students from a similar interest or academic based. Now, this isn't mandatory, but this is an option that students have available to them and that they can apply to. And if you apply to it and you're accepted into the community, you'll be assigned to a room amongst students that have the same interests as you. And so with residence learning communities, we have some that cater to all different interests and academic programs. All of them are listed here, and you can find more information on our website about these as well. Some of our favorites are the creative expressions, leadership and civic engagement. We also have nursing, and we have academic clusters like social work and community engagement. These are found at both Peterborough and Durham campuses. At Peterborough, they're known as living learning communities, whereas at Durham, they're known as academic clusters because they're more catered to your program specific. And here, we're gonna pass it on over to Mark Murdoch, who is our Executive Director of Food Services.
Thank you, Hayden. I noticed that Roger Garcia's popped on to join us. Thank you for joining us, Roger. Do you want to give a quick introduction?
Oh, wow. You cut me unprepared, but yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Roger Garcia. I'm the manager of digital marketing for Trent.
Well, thank you for joining us today. And thanks for Hayden. Really excited to have you join us this fall at Trent University. We have dining plans available for all of our students living in residence. They're called a declining balance plan. So you have an account on attached to your Trent U card. And when you make purchases, the value of that purchase is deducted from your account. Our dining plans are tax exempt. That helps students save 13% HST on most of their purchases. Across the Peterborough campus, we have 11 dining facilities with a total of 24 different menu options. And that includes Tim Hortons, Starbucks, Subway, Pizza, a great little place called the Seasoned Spoon, which is a student-run cooperative that's vegan and organic. And they grow their vegetables right on top of the science building. So there's something for everybody. And we say something for everybody. If you can eat, we can feed you. If you have specific dietary needs that you need assistance with, please reach out to us, food@trentu.ca, or provide that information to us through your housing application, and we'll develop a customized plan to make sure that you can be well fueled on campus to perform academically, athletically, and socially. The value of our dining plans for next year are listed on the tab there. Next slide, please.
Yeah, Mark, it could just be me, but I seem to be sensing some interference with your microphone.
Not sure what that's about.
Oh, perfect. It seems to be fixed now. There we go. Must have just been a little blockage, but that's okay. And here you go.
Okay. At Trent, we really care about what our students care about, and we're very proud of two certifications that we have. One is we were a very early adopter of being a fair trade campus and continue to maintain that status. We're also the only university in Canada to have 2 3-star green restaurant certified locations. And that means that we've adopted a number of behaviors and attributes in our food services program that have allowed us to be certified by a third-party body. You'll see a student there in a picture holding up an eco tray. It's a reusable container system for takeout meals. And those are the kinds of things that we do to drive sustainability in our food services program on campus. You'll learn more about that during orientation week. And then finally, a second component of your Trent U card is Trent Cash, and it's designed to supplement your dining plan. And think of your dining plan as for food on campus. Trent Cash is for everything else that you need as a student. So it includes our 11 off-campus partnered restaurants, taxi cabs, vending, the bookstore, parking, copy, print. It really becomes your primary payment for everything on campus. We are a cashless campus this year, and will continue to be in the fall of 2022. You'll learn more about Trent Cash through your housing application process. You can add Trent Cash to your account through that application process or later on through My Trent. Thanks, Hayden.
Thanks so much, Mark. The dining is a really awesome experience at Trent. There's lots of different food options. My favorite in particular are some of the fries you can get at Champlain. They are fantastic. So now this is just going to break down a little bit of the cost for residents. So in your application, we require a $50 application fee to get started. This puts you in line for our resident self-selection. And then once you complete your application, we request a $500 residence deposit that then go towards your residence fees once you have selected your room. On the screen here, you can see our price breakdowns, our approximate price breakdowns for our traditional and suite style residences. There's different prices across each of our buildings. So if you want more information on this, you can check them out on our website, which we'll have links to at the end of our PowerPoint today. So now the most exciting part, We have some amazing offers for our Trent Durham residents this year. All students who apply to Trent Durham residents will be given a $1,500 credit for their fees in residence. So this will be put in half each semester if you select a room and live in residence for the whole year, and it applies to all students. We also are offering a scholarship known as the Business Dual Postgraduate Certificate Scholarship. So this applies to any students who are taking the Business Dual Postgraduate Certificate program at our Durham GTA campus. And the scholarship is valued at $2,960, and this goes towards living in residence for a 16-month period as the program spans across 16 months. We also have a really exciting opportunity as well. There is also a draw to win free residence for a year, and this is open to all students who go for a tour or virtual tour of our Durham GTA campus. More information about that can be found by going to trenton.ca/discover or going to our Durham GTA residence webpage. So now a little bit about our application timeline for residents. Our applications for this year opened on January 24th. So students can now go in and apply to residence as soon as possible, whenever they would like. The sooner you apply and pay your $50 application fee, the higher you'll be on our list for when self-selection rolls around. So the sooner you pay that $50, the higher you are in line to select a room. You have until June 1st, 2022 to complete your application, apply for LLCs, submit any accessibility requests. You will pay your deposit on that date as well. And if you do that, this confirms your space in residence. And then the next step for you would be the week of July 18th, which is residence room self-selection. So what students need to do now is start their application process if they haven't already. Look at all of the different residence options, make sure you're looking at all the sections of the application like LLCs and academic clusters, accessibility. Complete those before June 1st along with your deposit, and then research what spaces in residence you would want to live in, what communities you would want to be a part of, look at the amenities, look at the college lifestyles, and then by July 18th, have a list of about 3 to 4 preferences for rooms that you'd like to live in. So you can go in and select from what's available during your time slot. And one of our great unique features is that first-year students are actually guaranteed residence here at Trent. So if you are a new student to Trent University, you are guaranteed a space so long as you complete your application and pay your deposit by that June 1st deadline, you are given that guarantee. So we recommend cashing in on that, starting your application and finishing it before June 1st, because you get a space in one of our amazing residence buildings. This applies to both our Peterborough and Durham campuses. So that's basically it for the presentation portion of our session today. As always, if you need to contact us and have any questions, we're open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's also a QR code here in the corner that will take you to our link tree and our website for you to stay connected with us. So I recommend taking a picture of this slide as well. Feel free to give us a phone call at either of our campuses, send an email to residents@trentu.ca or email food@trentu.ca if you have questions for Mark and the food services team. And make sure to follow us on social media. In our social media, we have tours of all of our resident spaces. You can also get a feel for what dining is like at Trent, because we often post our menus and special features. So definitely check that out. It's where you can find the most up-to-date information about your residence applications and processes. Okay, now we're going to open it up. I'm going to stop my screen share here. And we're going to open it up to you guys to see if anyone has any questions for us. If you have a question, please feel free to use the raise hand function by clicking reactions and raise hand. And we'll take the next 10 minutes or so to ask any questions. As well as if Aaliyah and Keely have any prominent questions that have been popping up in the chat lots, feel free to hop in and ask those questions. Okay, I do see a question here in the chat from Claire, asking, are you guaranteed residence if you are a first-year student to Trent, but would be a second-year university student? That is a great question. So if you're a first-year student at Trent and you've never taken a course at Trent before, you would still be offered that guaranteed residence space. We recommend making sure you're talking to our recruitment office about your transfer credits and reaching out to us via email to clarify all of the residence guarantee options there for you. But that's great that we're having you transfer over to Trent. We're excited to have you. I also see another one here regarding, can one live in residence excluding the meal plan and fees? Mark, did you want to answer that question?
In short, no. We think it's really important that every student participates in our dining program. It's a great way for people to socialize, to get together, and to also distribute the workload. Even for a student living in a suite, they find very quickly they don't have a lot of time to shop, cook, clean, and get out and do all those things that need to be done on top of a very demanding academic schedule. I say no at a very high level. If you have a very specific need, we can consider that. So we did have one student who did not eat at all. They were tube fed. We excluded them from the dining plan. Other than that, we think it's a very important part of your of community building on campus.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Mark. So I saw another question in here about where can I find more information about residence tours? So we're hoping to offer residence tours in the coming months after this academic year during our in-person open house. We have an in-person open house happening on May 7th for our Peterborough campus and April 30th for our Durham GTA campus. So make sure to check that out at trentu.ca/discover. And in terms of online footage and virtual tours, our TikTok for housing services is going to be the best place for you to find this information. If you go to our Instagram page, which is just at Trent U Housing, you can go in there, and at the bottom of our page is where we posted all of our TikTok tours, so you can see all of the amazing residence buildings. I also saw another question about in one of the tour videos, there's a grand piano. Trent has amazing pianos all over our campus and music facilities, which is great. So there's never a shortage. The one I believe that was featured in the video was in Lady Eaton College. Lady Eaton has lots of amazing spaces for you to take to perform music and practice, such as a music practice room. And I think they have about 4 different pianos just within that college alone. So that's some information there. Aaliyah or Keely, do you have any questions that have been popping up lots throughout the chat?
There's a student asking about the roommate pairing process and how that works.
Mm-hmm. So roommate pairing, that's a great question. We are very happy to offer roommate pairing and roommate self-selection in our residence application. So when you're applying, you'll fill out a roommate profile, which is a questionnaire that gets some information about you, and you can put in a little blurb about yourself and include social media handles if you'd like. And what it does is we have an algorithm that takes that profile and matches you to other students based on indicated living habits. You can also just look people up by specific username or look through a general search of profiles, and you can request a specific roommate. And how it works is if you request a roommate and chat with them and accept each other as roommates during self-selection, whoever has the earlier time slot between the two of you can select a double room for both of you. This only applies to double rooms. It doesn't apply to separate rooms within suites. So if you're really interested in finding roommates, make sure to check out our website on that, and feel free to let us know if you have any other questions. Are there any other prominent questions that you're seeing?
I'm seeing a lot of questions about like different dietary needs and if our residents accommodate all of them.
We do. We have a very broad program of accommodating students with a range of dietary needs, and those vary from religious observances like halal to students who have nut allergies, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, lactose-free, etc. We really start with a simple process of, for example, I'll just address gluten-free for a moment. We don't use any wheat-based thickeners in any of our soups, sauces, or gravies. In mashed potatoes, we don't use butter. We use vegetable stock instead of cream or butter. And so lots of those ways we can take an item that people would normally think of as either having a lactose issue or being not being vegan. We've adjusted and made those items vegan for everybody, but vegan for the vegans in particular. So for gluten-free example, if you were to have roast beef, mashed potatoes, and steamed broccoli, it is gluten-free by its very nature. We do offer halal options in all of our dining rooms at all locations, vegan options in all of our dining halls all the time. So if you have a very specific dining need, particularly around allergies, note that in your application through the housing process. We'll be contacting you in late June and make sure that we find a solution that works for you. So for example, we may find a number of students who have a very common dining issue, and we could place them all in the same apartment, for example. So if you were all peanut free and we find 5 students who want to be peanut free and live in an apartment together, we can make that happen to make sure that your needs are met.
That's great. Thanks, Mark. I do see another question here from Grace and Laura about how does it work if you haven't received an offer yet by the time that residence application is open? That is an awesome question. It applies to a lot of students. You can still apply to residence even if you have not received an offer of admissions yet. You will hear back from our admissions team before our residence application deadline, most likely. So we recommend that you still apply, pay your $50 as soon as possible so you can start the process. And if you're offered admission, make sure you and choose to come to Trent, make sure you complete your application and pay your residence deposit in the application process. And if for whatever reason we aren't able to offer you admission, you'll receive a full refund of your residence deposit. We see, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, there was a student asking like, where is the roommate feature or roommate feature on the website? I'm not sure if they're asking about in the housing portal that they fill out the roommate information and that's how they get matched. I'm not sure, but I believe they may have been asking in terms of that.
Yeah, so for the roommate feature, there is some information on our website, but to actually find each other as roommates and accept each other, you'll do this within the residence application. So in your My Trent portal under the supports tab, you'll select the housing services portal and open up the application for which campus you'd like. And in there is where you would find the roommate profile and search functions. I see we have a question, a hand up here from Yasmin. Feel free to jump in there and ask your question.
Hi, Hayden. I just wanted to know that, so we just begin with paying the deposit for the housing fee to ensure that we have a spot for myself in the residence, since I have already received my letter of acceptance and my offer letter. But I'm still in the process of applying for my study permit. So what I wanted to know from you is that, what is the deadline to pay the entire fee for the first semester of housing?
That's great. That's a great question, and it will help answer some
I'm going to
of the
jump in there because I have some new information that's brand new, and it relates to It relates to a question that Charlie had asked a little bit earlier about residence fees. Are they paid monthly? For this fall, we have a brand new process that will allow students to enter into structured payment plans and pay their fees over the entire academic year in equal installments. And it's a brand new process. You used to have to pay half by mid-August and half by mid-December. This year we'll be going on a structured payment plans for students. This year it's going to be limited exclusively to those in residence and international students because they have much higher balances. And we're trying to provide them that opportunity to spread out their payments. On that note, though, you do have to pay your $50 fee for your residence application. That gets you your spot in line. And then your $500 deposit has to be paid before June the 1st to guarantee your spot in residence.
All right, awesome.
Mhm.
That's good. But we still don't have like a timeline that still needs to be released yet, right?
Yes, so our residence fees will be posted to your account after you have selected a room. So this usually takes place sometime mid-August. So that's when you'll see those fees applied to your account. And from there, you can work on establishing a payment plan like Mark suggested. And then if you have any questions regarding your study permit, I recommend reaching out to Trent International. They'll be great helps with that. And if for whatever reason, any plans change, feel free to reach out to us and we'd be happy to help you out over email. I see another hand up here from, it's either Hiba or Hiba.
Hi. I was wondering for like, are there any supports to help with like paying for residence costs, like OSAP or anything like financial aid?
Yeah, absolutely. So Trent University offers some great scholarships to students. So I recommend looking into what some entrance bursaries are, what some entrance scholarships can be. This can be found on our trentu.ca/financial aid. They'll be able to help you out there. OSAP sometimes contributes to residence fees for first year. So it is often factored into your first year balance of what you get from OSAP, but there are lots of other benefits and opportunities for financial assistance through the university, through scholarships and things like that. So I recommend looking in on our financial aid website for that. And like Mark said, since we're now on a structured payment plan where we can do multiple different payments, that will help students immensely rather than having to pay half of your total owed rate upfront, basically.
There was a student here asking about where would laundry be in the traditional style rooms.
Let's see, where would laundry be? Oh, okay. In traditional style rooms, laundry would take place. We have laundry rooms within our traditional residence building. So there's usually about one laundry room per building, except if you're in Zosky College, there's one laundry room per floor, and same with at Trent Durham. So you would share the laundry room with the other folks in your building, and you just have to make sure that you're setting a timer for your laundry, so that way you're going in and checking on it regularly and making sure that we're sharing the space equally. But yes, there's lots of laundry facilities available within your specific residence building. I did see another question about gender inclusive housing, so I think that's a good time to go in and talk about gender inclusive housing. This is an important feature that we offer here at Trent Housing Services, where if students are open to living with people of a gender identification which is different than their own, in your application under personal information, you can select to opt into gender inclusive housing. This means that you'll be able to share a room with or a suite with someone regardless of their gender identification or expression. If this is something that you're not interested in, you can always opt out by selecting that you prefer to live with your specific gender, but it is an option if you would like to participate in gender inclusive housing. Okay, well, it is at the end of our session time today. So on behalf of Trent Housing Services and on behalf of Food Services, I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone joining us today. This session will be recorded and posted to our website, and we also have another session coming up at 1:30 that you can join. Residence applications, again, are open now, so you can apply as soon as you're ready and you can check out our applying website for more information at trentu.ca/housing. Awesome. Thank you so much and have a great day, everyone.